Robbo, a brave effort to be in that one, considering all the defence you had to do in that first half. But is that one you probably should have closed out, considering the kind of changes they had to undergo as well?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we defended so well. You know, the amount of field position they had and possession there, and to go in 8-6 and to defend like we did, and you know, to the way that Siwa and Rob and that did their job out there was really good. And then, you know, we opened the second half as we should have. We created the opportunities, you know, got enough to get in front, but you know, we left some out there. But that, you know, we still should have, you know, finished it off at 14-8.
Do you think you exploited enough of like where some of the mismatches and kind of changes that South had? I think they had Jai Arrow in the centres and things like that. Like, did you think you worked it over enough?
No, obviously if we did, we would have scored. But yeah, we could have done better to exploit that. But we also, you know, there's many ways to pull a team apart. You know, they can have mismatches in those positions. But we just, we had enough field position by that period. I felt like we earned the right to be in enough in good positions, and yeah, we just couldn't pull them apart or even get some tries on last as well.
What do you put it down to, Royce? The amount of things
Yeah, incredible.
Is it
Yep.
more from the halves, or what do you want to see there in those clutch moments?
No, it's an all-a-team. It's system, how we run our system, and it's it's an all-a-team thing.
How frustrating was it out there, Teddy, for you?
Yeah, I felt like we were dominant for most of the game there. But the second half was sitting there for us. Felt like we were in control, and then just two sort of defensive lapses, which hurt us. I felt like they sort of came from nothing. Just two individuals, I guess. Trell's pass and then Sullivan going through on a show and go. So I felt like we were in control for most of the game. And like Robert said, we had chances to execute. We just didn't sort of repeat set. They got the ball back twice. We repeat set, and then we just didn't build any pressure. So I felt like that was one they got away from us. We should have definitely won.
What about your discipline, Trent? Like their last two tries coming off the back of penalties. You got to pick that up, surely.
Yeah, I don't want to go into the penalties and all of that.
Well, Chicks are 1-4. How do you see that? And is it a fair reflection of where you guys are at after 5 weeks?
Oh, I think this competition tells the truth. So I think it's, you know, we missed our mark in round 1, and we've been in every game since then, and you know, leading in every game since then. And so I feel like that was, it's hard because there was 3 tries, but that was probably our best defensive performance, you know, with the questions they asked, the amount of work that we had to do. I thought some guys are better players now than they were a month ago and obviously last year, so there's some guys that are improving there. And we just got to hold belief, build on that, and the execution will come. The longer these combinations, when you start new combinations, it takes time to develop, so you have to rely on your defence. You know, 2 tries and we win the game, 3 tries and it's game on at the moment. So it's hard to say. 1-4, you're really disappointed in that, but I can see this team. I can see who they are. I can see the intensity that they're going after it, and
How's Messi doing?
Sorry? Yeah, he did his MCL on that challenge.
Expecting anyone back next week, like Mark sat out tonight?
Yeah, probably Mark and Rads,
Yeah.
like to think. Yeah.
What about Steve?
No, he's okay.
Is it okay?
He's okay.
Just back to your message there. Is that the message you'll ram home to some of the younger guys? That we are building towards something. It will come when we're not far away.
Yeah, you want to win games, but I think I've said this, but in the past, like you want to build a game that's going to do something, you know, and good ball attack's not firing at the moment, and that helps, but that doesn't win big games. It decides by how much, but it doesn't win big games. So there's other bits that we're looking at, and some of those other bits are on track. You know, again, there's lots of improvement. Otherwise, we wouldn't be 1-4. But we just got to stay the course, have the sort of the courage to keep sort of believing in the way that we're playing, and then we'll go on a run.
Rob, I know it can be hard to find positives after a night like that, but Billy Smith, guy who hasn't played since first week of the finals 2023, for him to be involved in two plays, one a try, one lead to a try from the ensuing movement, just talk about his journey and everything he's been through to get back.
Yeah, he's worked as hard as anybody in this game, I think, to get on the rugby league field, and he stepped on it with an intensity straight away, and created opportunities and defended really, really well. He did what Bill does, so I thought he was really good. I thought Siwa Wong and Rob Toya, they were outstanding. I mean, Ted was best on ground. I thought Latrell did really well with those guys off the field, but Siwa Wong, I thought that was his best game in NRL. Just really complete, and Rob Toya, he had a big task tonight, and I felt like, was that 5 games? So, that's there's some good signs there.